time. The Cedi depreciation slows, and it says that the rate of depreciation of the local currency, the Cedi, has slowed in the second quarter compared with the level of depreciation. These are backed by numbers. Okay, during the second quarter, the local currency depreciated by only 8.8% against the US dollar, and compared to 17.6 in the first. Okay, so cumulatively, the Cedi has depreciated by 26.7 against the US dollar for the first half, even though we've had it also been reported in international media that some 30%, some 40%. Of course, the government has come to debunk some of these reports. You should be impressed.
Well, yeah, I'm impressed if the figures are anything.
No, these are facts from the Bank of Ghana.
Because look, if the depreciation of the Cedi affects everybody, and for those of us in the private sector, you have a contract. You signed a contract beginning of the year in Cedi values, because you, per the laws of this country, you cannot quote your product in dollars. And then if the Cedi should depreciate, you are importing products. You cannot change your contract terms. And if you have to go through negotiations, and sometimes so nebulous. So you rather would have the Cedi stabilize, so that at least your business can also thrive. For what we've been experiencing over the last year or so, especially beginning of this year, you've had a free fall of the Cedi to the dollar and other foreign currencies. And so if we have a situation where it is stabilizing, it should be good for all of us. And this has nothing to do with politics. It is purely business sense. And then I would pray that all of us would contribute, bring in issues that would help stabilize the Cedi. The bottom line is that we should be able to import, to export more than we are importing. But the trade balance is so tilted against us that the government must come. I'm sure the Kuka will pick me on again. But you are in the helm of affairs. The government must come to arrest the situation. A lot of the talk.
Who is Adekoka is just he doesn't hold a government.
He's not a jest. He's not a jest. He speaks for the government here. We need to put a stop to it. Whatever we must do, because you see, if we put our priorities right, the likelihood that we can get things done right is great. But where we spend without recourse to how it will inure to our own.
That is slowing, is that not it?
Slowing? Well, I hope it doesn't become a 9-day wonder. From what is going on, if we continue to have a trade balance that is tilted against us, no miracle and no prayers, no fasting can arrest the depreciation of the Cedi. It is purely economic policy that will stop it. If we are, our taste as a nation, we seem to like everything foreign. Everything. Even our rice, everything else. I'm sure just about salt that we would use in this country. Everything else is imported, and imported from countries like Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire. We have better geographical. We are placed in a more a climate that we should not be. At least food, we should not have any reason why we should be importing food items into this country. And so long as we do that, we import everything. We are not manufacturing much. It's just the basics of life that we are doing. We will continue to grapple with the depreciation of the Cedi. But that is not going to help anybody, even if we are either we're in government or out of government.
You seem to be having this position, even if it's well. You say it's not well.
I didn't say it's not
well.
Even
if it's getting well, you acknowledge. You say it will be bad.
No, I cannot see in the short to the medium term.
But I think it's stabilizing. Yes,
I cannot see in the short to the medium term if we continue to have a trade balance that is tilting against us.
But won't it take some? I think that will take some medium to long term.
Whilst this is happening, let's look at the bigger picture, the long term effect of ensuring that we will have at least a balanced trade within our borders, export and import, even if we don't have more.
So exports. We should take advantage of the market we have in the sub-region.
Exactly. We should find a way of getting more of our products getting out of this country than importing. Because if you go to the harbor, and so one thing, just a minute, it's also that we live in a regime where when you import things into this country at the entry points, you are made to pay your duties based on the dollar. rate. So the customs would calculate the duty that you have to pay based on the prevailing forex exchange rate on the day. And all these things contribute
Fred, you have one more round. You seem to...
Yes, Roland, I usually agree with Fred on the need of the balance of trade, that we need to have some homegrown policies.
And that's a subject that government has been criticized for, not taking enough measures.
Especially when it comes to food, clothing, this very important needs of a human being, right? We've got all the land here that we should be able to, at this stage, stop importing those irrelevant things that we import. But part of the depreciation of the cedi, right, is also due to policy. You know, when the Bank of Ghana came out with the policy which they reversed, most of us spoke against it because, like, during when you were here with your other uncle lady, right?
Mama V.
Mama V, you know, you spoke about someone like me having been in the forex business for a very long time. So immediately the Bank of Ghana brought out those policies. Some of us went to town and said, no, that is going to really put pressure on the cedi. And it did. And we realized that since the reversal of that policy, what is happening now, there's stability. So it shows that
there's some level of stability.
There's some level. I mean, like
you don't have to paint a very
like the figures.
picture.
No. I mean, we've got a long way. We need to, right? Because the inflows that will come and shore up the demand and supply was virtually cut down, and people went to Ivory Coast and Togo and Burkina to open foreign accounts there, and their currencies became stabilized. So part of the problem was the policy that the Bank of Ghana brought, right? But having done that, then
you didn't know that it was a bad policy. No, you were criticized.
No. Some of us. I mean,
no, you came to sit here and said it.
I said it. Yeah, so because I've been in this industry for a very long time.
I know you came to say because you were in the business.
That's right.
Because as a businessman, you feel that yes.
Right. And,
but as a fiscal policy, it was bad as far as from the monetary end.
That's true. Yeah, because you know, a country where you are importing more than you're exporting, that would be a shortfall. And that vacuum was being cushioned by those who were bringing in their foreign currency, and the banks were having access to it. Now you've asked the banks to import foreign currency, which is something that they were doing not long ago, right? So immediately that position could be arrested, but now it has gone to that 3.3, whatever it is. Now you need to make it come back to about 2.5 to
8 months.
And the only way you can do that is to
in Ghana it has never happened.
Well,
we've never had an appreciation.
Yeah, but so the only way we can do that is to turn the balance of trade, ensure that, and that will be a long-term measure. Because if we continue to be importing,
that would be like 2017, 2018.
We need to start from somewhere. Because when we were growing up, we had all those industries. Look,
it means that it doesn't make the election too good for your government.
You see, if you are only always looking about election.
Well, the point is that when the economy is bad, your government has bad public opinion.
No, Ghanaians will appreciate a government who is taking the relevant measures to arrest the situation.
So why is that you didn't take these decisions, or you perhaps some of you didn't advocate for some of these decisions to be taken?
Roland, you see, Ghana is like a spoiled child. When your father gives you a toy, instead of you adding to the toy, what do? You dismantle the toy. You just smash it, and then go and buy another toy. And that's what we're doing. We were just destroying the industries that will have inured to our benefit, and rather went about importing things as substitute. And that is what we now should deviate from and start creating like now we put up the Commander Sugar Factory, right? The poultry industry, the pharmaceutical, those.
What are we doing for the poultry industry and pharmaceutical?
We are now asking anybody who is importing poultry into this country should ensure that 40% of that is bought in this country, and that's a way to encourage the poultry industry. You know, for the pharmaceutical, government is putting money there, right? Commander Sugar Factory. This week, tomorrow, the government is going to cut the so to revamp and resuscitate the sugar factory.
When will it be ready? You see, some of this is you're saying.
But Roland, a journey of 1,000 miles. First, but if you are saying that, why are we now starting? Probably it has now dawned on us that we've gone to sleep for a very long time.
That's an indictment.
On all of us, not only this government.
Oh.
Not only this government.
Right.
On
It's not an indictment on your government, but all of us.
All governments.
This is your last comment.
Yes,
Go
yes.
to wrap up.
My brother is from the industry. He's been in the forest.
Please, it's short time. You have only a minute.
Yeah. And if the government will not listen to us, when they started these Bank of Ghana directives, I think we came to town, we advised, but they wouldn't listen to us. And they didn't the MPP, as a party, we came out. Dr. Baumia spoke succinctly about these issues. That, look, if we go on with this, we are not going to have any better foreign currency regime in this country. And they didn't listen until it started biting. Now that they reversed the issues, you see what's happening. So you should know that the people in the helm of affairs in this country, economically, they are not doing well.
No. This is a Bank of Ghana directive.
Bank of Ghana directive.
You don't want to interfere.
Please, we have to wrap up.
Who appoints the Bank
wrap
of
up
Ghana?
so that he has
I'm sure we have a president in this country.
The president called the Bank of Ghana and asked them for justification. Right. So when the Bank of Ghana is an independent body, and if
when things are going well, when things are going well, the government is taking.
If you are not careful, and you equate Bank of Ghana with government, then government will have to close the Bank of Ghana.
When we needed to take money from the Bank of Ghana, we did.
Oh, no, but Mr. Koka, you are very much satisfied with the steps being taken. Do you think that, reservedly, we're going to get to the destination?
Yeah, we have taken the right steps.
We're taking the best.
We have taken the right. It's long overdue. It's long overdue.
But you think the steps are now?
We have to get out. I would like to use
the point is that we only gauge or assess them after a period of time.
We have to get out of the Gordonsburg. I would like to borrow their own flag bearer as well. Gordonsburg economy. It's about time.
I mean the former black flag bearer.
Former black flag bearer. We need to get out of the Gordonsburg economy.
Well, so we're taking a break from here. My guest for the morning, Fred Amankwasafo, is a member of the MPP. Thanks for joining me, Fred.
Thank you, my brother.
You're contesting for first vice.
I contested for the first vice. I did not get a mandate of the delegates.
First vice chairperson.
Yeah.
Who occupies that position?
We have Sammy Crab as the first vice. We have
first vice. Okay.
Freddie Blay.
So if you had known what you would have been.
We have Sammy Crab. We have Freddie Blay, and then we have F.F. Phantom.
All right. And Joseph Nia Dekoka is a member of the NDC. Currently is the party's chairman for Greater Accra. He's also a businessman, an entrepreneur, a forex dealer, also a diplomat. You see that by the way he talks, always diplomacy. We're taking a break. When we